Hey, what's up guys, this is Matt Pizarka with myjumptrainer.com, and in today's video I'm going to go over every part of tempos, like each part of the lift and what they do. So in my programming, like my programs, and if you're a client of mine, you know that I give you a tempo that looks something like this. It's 3 numbers, first number, then slash, second number, slash, and third number. So it's 3 numbers separated by slashes, right? So the first number, we'll break it down like this, so 1, 2, 3, right? The first number in this sequence represents what's called the eccentric part of the lift, and that is often referred to as the negative part of the lift, right? That's the part where we're decelerating that force, it's coming down, and we're squatting down, or as you can see here in this Bulgarian split squat, I'm emphasizing the eccentric part of the lift by going down slowly, okay? Now, each number in the sequence that you see with this tempo represents seconds, right? So if you saw a tempo that said 4/1/1, for the 4, you would take 4 seconds to lower yourself down in that eccentric part of the lift, okay? And what we're doing, excuse me, what we're doing in the eccentric part, when we're going slow, we're actually really exciting what's called muscle spindles. And what they do is they tell the brain, okay, like we have some kind of pressure on our muscle, we have force hitting our muscle right now. Now, all it's telling the brain is how hard do we have to fire this muscle to overcome that force, right? So when we're going down slowly, we're actually training the body to actually fire harder than it would if you were just going quickly, right? We're really burning that muscle up, exciting the muscle spindles, and say, okay, we gotta fire this muscle hard to get out of the hole, right? And what GTOs are, Golgi tendon organs, they're the thing that say, okay, hold on a second here. You can fire the muscle hard, but don't fire it too hard. We're gonna fire it just right, just so you can get out of the hole, and so you won't fire it too hard to get injured, right? A lot of coaches out there call the Golgi tendon organ the overprotective mother, right? Which is a good thing, honestly. It's a very good thing. We have a mechanism in our body that keeps us from injuring ourselves by going too hard or overextending ourselves. But for athletes, I'll call them GTOs. The GTOs are actually, like I said, overprotective, meaning we don't really need them to stop us that much. So what we're doing is we're going eccentrically very slowly, we're exciting the muscle spindle, and we're actually turning off the GTO. So we're going to fire hard and train our bodies to fire hard while also turning off that GTO, okay? And in this phase, I will call it the phase, in this phase of the lift, of the movement, we're teaching the body to absorb that force. We're increasing muscle length, which means in this phase of the lift, the negative part, we're actually microscopically tearing your muscle fibers up, and that's when they lengthen. And like I say, micro tears here, they lengthen. This is the part where there's muscle damage, where we actually can grow the muscles, and this is where most growth and strength happens. Okay. Moving on, that's the eccentric part of it. Very important right there. So when you see any seconds in the front, that means take your time with 4 seconds or 3 or 2 or 1. So if there's 1 second here, we'll just do 1 down, right? There's 4, it'll go a lot slower. Now if there's an X, right, that means as fast as possible. Okay, so as fast as possible down, and I'll get to these in a second here, okay? Moving on to the next part, this is the isometric part. The middle part is the isometric, and that is the part of the lift, as you can see in this Bulgarian split squat. I'll keep using that as an example. We're going to hold at the very bottom for as long as we can, or for the prescribed seconds in the tempo listing here, right? So let's say it said 2 seconds. You would go down and you would count to 2 at the very, very bottom of your lift. If it was a squat, it would be at the very bottom of the squat. And what we're doing in this phase of the lift, we're actually recruiting more motor units or more muscle fibers to fire in that muscle, okay? So what's happening is, when we're holding that very, very hard position at the very bottom, it's called a disadvantageous position. When we're holding that position, the muscle fibers in that muscle are like, oh my gosh, what's happening? We're burning up so bad, this hurts so bad, what are we gonna do? The brain then sends that muscle and says, okay, we're gonna recruit more muscle fibers. So we're training the body to use every single last muscle fiber in that muscle to move yourself and to actually to activate, right? Because the more muscle fibers we can use, the more force we can produce, right? That's what we're doing there. That's the bottom of the movement. Transfer of force is before these two. Morning recruitment. Rate coding. That means we're actually training the body to not only fire every muscle fiber in that muscle, we're also training it to fire very fast. We're turning them all on as fast as we possibly can to make your athleticism and your jump a lot stronger and a lot quicker, okay? That's what we're doing in this, especially if the tempo is, let's say, X for X. What that means, as you can see in another video here in the Bulgarian split squat, there's going to be a very fast eccentric because it's X, so it's as fast as we possibly can. We're holding that isometric for that prescribed 2 seconds, and then we're exploding back up in what is the next thing. This is called the concentric phase, and this is the phase that gets all the attention, right? This is the phase that you go to the gym and you ask somebody, hey, how much do you squat, right? And they usually say, I can squat 500 pounds. They're talking about they can concentrically lift 500 pounds up with their body, right? You don't ask somebody when you go to the gym, how much can you eccentrically lower with your legs? You ask them, how much can you squat? How much can you bench? And this is actually the phase that all coaches use to measure an athlete's performance, right? Like for instance, if I were to measure my athlete's vertical jump, for instance, I'm measuring how high they can jump with that concentric phase, right? Because they're jumping, they're exploding out of the hole, and I'm measuring that sexy part of the lift, right? So in this one, yeah, we're exploding up. I just said that. This is the part where we're exerting force, and right here, RFD, that stands for rate of force development. We're training that body to produce force much faster than obviously before. That's what we're training the body, just so we can get faster and get higher, quicker, because the athlete that can be faster and more dynamic will always win, okay? Yes, where it all comes together. So we're absorbing force in the eccentric, we are then transferring it in the isometric, and then we are exploding it in the concentric, okay? This number though, in the concentric phase, you will never, well for me personally, I will never put anything more than 1 or 2 seconds here. It'll usually be an X, which means always explode up with every rep. That's what I like to do here because we're training the body to explode, and we're really trying to get that central nervous system to fire that muscle hard after we absorb the force and train the muscle spindles to really fire the muscle hard, using every muscle fiber we can, a very fast rate, okay? And those are tempos. I hope this video helped you guys out. I know I'm getting a lot into the science of it, but if you're looking for a program or coaching that helps you take your athleticism to the next level, please send me a message. I'd love to help you guys out. Thank you for watching. Again, any questions, please let me know. Thanks again, guys. Peace.